Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to install the underdrive pulley. So first thing you want to do is disconnect the battery. Okay, and then next thing I'll have to remove the intake. That way I can get the power bar in there to take the bolt out of the factory damper. But anyway, before we start that, here's some of the tools that you're going to have. Right here, this is the underdrive pulley. It's a trick flow, 25% underdrive. And in order to do this job, you're going to need this here. This is a flywheel lock. So you have to remove the starter to put this in. It locks the flywheel. And then to pull the damper, this is the damper puller. You need to use the longest rod with it. This is the one I have. There's plenty other ones you can get, I'm pretty sure. This is pretty cheap. Then to install the damper, you need this here. I think I bought this one on eBay, I'm not sure. Anyway, it screws into the front of the crank, and then you use this bolt to slowly pull the pulley onto the crank. So these are tools you absolutely have to have. Anyway, that's it for... You'll have other miscellaneous tools as well, but these are the ones you absolutely have to have in order to change the damper. Okay, now one of the next jobs I got to do is I'm going to have to pull these fans out. So I'm going to disconnect them. You see that or not? So disconnect the fans. I got these clips. The wiring for the fans are clipped in here. That's your tool, pull them out. So these clips right here. I'll just put this little tool in there and pop them out. And there's some wiring up top here that's connected to the fan. Okay, so I got the fans out. It's not too big of a job, just it's hard to do and try to film at the same time, but pretty simple. You just connect the fans and then you pop these little wiring tabs or whatever off the fan shroud, so you can pull it down out, and it gives you a lot more room. Then next thing is remove the belt, which I already took the tension off the belt up top. So the belt's out. Then the tensioner for the air conditioner's right here. So you just pop that off. It's easier to do when you got both hands. Anyway, it's pretty simple, so I got to drop the camera so I can do it. So the belts are off. Now another potential problem that I see is transmission cooler lines are in the way. You'll never get the pulley out of there, so I'm going to have to remove this 15mm bolt right here, and hopefully this will drop down. Seems like it will. So anyway, I'll move that out. Well, I'll take that bolt out, and hopefully that'll give us the room we need. Okay, so I took that bolt out of the alternator, and that allows this to move around. I don't know if it gives us quite enough room, but there's enough flexibility there. We should be able to pull that pulley off. Anyway, I got to wait for the car to cool down so I can remove the starter and put on the flywheel lock. Okay guys, now I'm going to remove the starter. The first thing, there's two wires running the starter. One uses a 8mm nut and the other one uses a 13. You can probably drop the starter down some to get better access, but I removed them right from where they were. Like, here's the one that uses the 13. This one here uses the 8, so I removed them, and now I'm going to remove the starter. It's 13mm bolts holding the starter in. So anyway, you just remove both them bolts, and I'll need my other hand so that it don't drop down on my face. But anyway, it's pretty straightforward. So I got the flywheel lock in there. I want to get the camera up in there so you can see. You can see where it locks the flywheel, so you can get that damper bolt out, because it's in there pretty tight. Anyway, just fairly simple job. Remove the starter, and then there's a little plastic plate there. You got to remove that, and then you can get your flywheel lock up in there, and then you can take the pulley, the damper pulley, or the damper bolt out of the pulley. Okay guys, I got the damper bolt out. It actually come out quite a bit easier than I expected. Came out a lot easier than the factory one. Should show you. I'm using the ARP bolt so I can reuse it, but if you're taking off your damper for the first time and you get the factory bolt, best thing to do is buy an ARP one so you can reuse it if you ever have to take it off again. But don't reuse the factory one, because they're a torque to yield bolt, and good chance you might snap it off. Now, to get this off, if you got a strong impact gun, you can probably take it off. Now, I got a electric impact gun, and it wouldn't take off the factory one. It probably would have took this one off, because I don't think I had it tight enough. But anyway, what I used when I took the factory damper off, my electric impact, which says it can do 350 foot-pounds, they won't. They advertise it as 350 foot-pounds, and I know it won't because it wouldn't take the factory bolt off. So what I used was a power bar, and I use that to get the factory one off. Okay, so here's the damper puller, and this just screws in here. But it's a good idea to put a little bit of oil on this before you use it, just so you don't damage the threads. Okay, so I got the bolt in the and you need the longest rod. So we'll go over and get this hooked up. Okay, so take the rod and insert it in the middle. I gotta put the tool on. I gotta have both hands, so I'll show you after you get it all set up. Okay, I got the tool all installed. There's 3 tabs on that pulley, and you just hook in all them tabs. You got the rod down the center. I got it tightened up, so she's all in there. She's all hooked on, so now it's just a matter of turning it, pulling it off. Put your ratchet on, just crank it. You might be tempted to go fast, but it's better just go slow and pull it off gently. That way you don't damage the threads on the tool. See it here letting go already. I can feel it letting go. Like you can see the damper moving. Yeah. Well, like I said, just take your time. Don't go fast, because them threads will heat up. You could damage them. You can see the damper moving ahead. And you just do that all the way till it's almost ready to fall off. Just you have to have both hands so it don't fall out on you. And right, pretty straightforward. I'll get back after you get it off. Okay, here you see the comparison between the factory pulley and the trick flow one. It's quite a difference in diameter. See, the factory one's quite a bit larger. Anyway, let's hope this goes on as easy as the other one come off. Okay guys, I got the pulley on and I got the installer tool all in there. I started it off camera just because you got to have both hands for this, and cameraman's on strike, so right. Same as when I was taking it off, just go slow. You don't want to damage the threads, and you want it to go on nice and smooth. Like you can see the pulley going on slowly. It's actually a pretty simple job. Now if you're taking off the damper for the first time, that factory bolt, it is a bugger to get off. Like you need a really strong impact gun, or like I say, a power bar like that one. But I was able to do it, so you know, anybody pretty well can do it. Well, I mean, you have to have a certain amount of strength, but if I can do it, I think most guys that do work on the cars can do it. You can see this one going on nice and slow. I don't know if you noticed or not, my install tool, you might have noticed it's a little shorter than what you see when you buy them. It's because I cut mine down some, because it was so long before when I installed the pulley after the cam swap that my deep socket wasn't deep enough, so I just cut the thing off. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to reuse it to put the damper back on, but it was fine. Didn't need to be as long as it was. Anyway, when I get this done, I'll get back to you. Okay, so I got the damper all on. Now I'm going to put the bolt in. I put some blue Loctite on it. So I'll tighten it up as much as I can with the ratchet. I can't remember the torque on this. It's crazy. It's pretty crazy high. My torque wrench doesn't even go that high. really tough to do with just one hand. Okay, so it's fully seated. Now I'll grab my torque wrench. Okay, so the highest setting for my torque wrench is 150 foot-pounds, so I'll try and do that before I use the power bar. Hard to get that kind of torque underneath the car. Try it this way. There. So that's 150 foot-pounds. Now I'll use power bar to give her another crank. So it's got to be. I'll probably look it up and put it in the video, but it's really, really high. It's over 200 foot-pounds, I'm pretty sure. Okay. I got the power bar on it. I already gave it probably a quarter of a turn already. So you can give her a little more. That's about all I can give her. I think that's enough because I never had any trouble last time. I ran it for 2 years, so. Anyways, the pulley's on. Now I've just got to put it back together. We'll get the belts on it, make sure that it's on there right, so it's the belts are running smooth, running straight. Anyway, I'll put it back together and then we'll start it up. Hey guys, but full charge is good, even if you drive home. Anyway guys, the underdrive pulley's all on, still charging good, so hopefully in a few days we'll run her down the quarter mile again, see